I'm curious in terms of the men now being called to step up and knowing that we live in a polarity construct form of equal and opposite energetics, where are the women being invited to shift right now? Like, what distortions are we being called on to re-alchemize?
Damn, that's a good question. Um, ugh, Probably women are, yeah, we're in such a tricky paradigm. Oh boy, it's everything is kind of a mess in so many ways, right? Because I'm single and every now and then I'm an accidental cougar. It's I've been an accidental cougar throughout my life.
Mhm.
And I'm talking to these guys, let's just say the cutoff is 30s.
Mhm.
But I'm talking to them in their 30s, and they're like, it just seems like every woman my age wants like a rich guy. And like, I do well, I do okay, I am ambitious, but like, I'm not rich.
Mhm.
So there's still some of that, which that's I don't know, it's a little risky. I think I think a woman still needs to be able to take financial responsibility for herself,
Mhm.
take emotional responsibility for herself, and to not put everything on a man.
Mhm.
Unless you're married, you have a contract in place, you have clear agreements like as to your roles.
Yeah. And
So,
does that apply like early courtship, like first date, expecting the dude to pay? Do you feel like that's some sort of distortion?
it feels natural.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. It just feels natural to me for the man to take the lead and to pay.
Yeah, I feel the same.
Yeah, I mean, I am a business woman and a healer, and clearly I'm capable of being extremely alpha,
Mhm.
but I'm happy to, cool, where are we going? You know, I'm happy and sometimes I get exhausted too, like from having to provide every provision for myself.
I feel
So,
the same. Yeah, I feel like, you know, similarly, I run so much masculine energy in my life, in my career and all of those things. So when I am in a romantic relationship, especially in the beginning, because
mhm.
I agree with you, like, yes, of course, we always want to be switched, be able to switch off and play all the roles, but I really want to be the girl.
Yeah, okay. So here's like kind of a topic that just popped into my head if you want to talk about this. So I'm noticing that even just talking to a guy on the phone, there's guys that automatically inspire me to want to wear a skirt
Hmm.
or like loose or like flowy pants
Hmm.
or pants. There's something in the conversation or their vibe and I'm like, I would rather wear a skirt any day. Like I'm fine with that.
And is that like some energetic, or have you tracked like what specifically inspires the wardrobe
It's
choice?
a very masculine energetic, right? Because
Yeah.
if that energetic is there, then it's putting me in my like feminine flow.
Yeah,
And when
totally.
I wore, in fact, I wore, even though no one's gonna see my skirt, I wore a skirt for this interview. So,
Thank you. And I'm wearing the pants, so we're nice and balanced.
see, like we did it. We this
We rocked it.
absolutely. Yeah, it's a very I mean if you have any topics you want to bring up, but I kind of have some things on my mind. It's just it's a really interesting time to date. There's a lot of I think confusion between men and women these days that also did, come from the Me Too movement, which of course is a fantastic thing, but there's a lot of like, oh, like I don't like it's a little bit weird.
Yeah, I mean, we can go anywhere because we're Aquarian sisters. So, I honor your inspiration.
Woo!
I find it really bizarre. I mean, I haven't been on a date in a little bit, But I remember around like 2019, I was in a date with some guy and he said, "May I have your consent to put my arm around you?" And I literally felt my vagina seal itself up. And I'm like, don't ever talk to me like that again. Like, grab me.
But see, that is very confusing for a man to hear. I think, like, when I'm working with my guys, I'm like, you can even like do little things to test the waters, kind of like if you're having dinner and kind of her hand is down, maybe just like touch her hand for a second. And don't think about yourself, but read what's going on with her. If she's kind of like, right there, like, or even you feel like any kind of a contraction or a withdrawal, like in that attempt for connection, do not go further.
Okay, we have to stop because I love that you're teaching men this. I love it. It's so valuable. And I'm wondering because I've always wondered like I'm not giving any signs that I'm interested in touch. For me, it's also energetic, right? So
Hmm.
I'm curious to know like are men wired such that it's harder for them to pick up on those subtle signals?
They just have to be taught to look for them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, you have to not be thinking about yourself and what you want. Like, we know you want to have sex with us.
Right.
You don't have to say it, text it, or send a dick pic.
Right.
Like, we know. We're certain of it. If you're out on a date with us, you're probably maybe thinking at some point I'd love to put it in, like
Right.
at the base level, like we get that. So, and that's something that you want, and that's fine because that got you to dinner.
Right.
And at a certain age, maybe you want great conversation and companionship and laughter, and maybe you want more layers to that, of course.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think, you know, when you're not, when you're focused on connecting with the other person, and not thinking about your own agenda, yes, you can tune into and read the signals.
And is this like kind of a life-changing aha for the men that you're working with?
I don't know if it's an aha or not. I mean, when you kind of ask them to do a recap at the end of what they got out of, working with me or the talk for the day, then yeah, I mean, that definitely comes up and they do go out and practice it.
Mm-hmm. Um, does anyone like dick pics? Do you like receiving them? I've
No.
never met one woman who likes those.
Here's my rule. I have to meet it in person at least once in order to get some type of a dick pic afterwards. If
Right.
there's a dick pic preceding it, it's not going to happen. And I've even had to have that conversation last week, in fact. I'm like, whatever you do, don't. I can hear it in your voice. You're tempted to do it. Don't do it. Don't. Don't trust me. Don't do it.
Yeah, I have male friends who tell me like, "Oh, I sent her a dick pic and she got pissed." And I'm like, "Why would you?" Maybe gay men like that, but I can guarantee that straight women are not. That's not a great courtship strategy.
No, it's just so here's where this is coming from. So like men are ruled visually and women are ruled auditorily.
Mm-hmm.
So and this has been my biggest in fact I'm angry today about this. This has been my biggest like frustration with dating is I'm like we have to have some conversations. Like it can't be all texting and I'm literally like, here's the list. It's not a big list, it's basic human decency and behavior. But here are some things you can do in order for me to take my skirt off, right?
What's on the
So
list?
I need to hear your voice.
Mm-hmm.
I have to hear the person's voice. It gets me excited.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you can hear if you're a woman who's sensitive to energy, you can hear the energetic signature.
Mm-hmm.
I've had heart openings just from talking to a man on the phone because he had like his like right like vocal tone had the keys to unlock my heart.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
or make more happen than that. Just not even talking sexy. So I think guys are trying to speak to us in a visual language, and
Mm.
it's not landing. In fact, it's not working at all. And they're like, "What's wrong?" And it's be and it's because speak to us in our freaking language, man. Get
Mm.
auditory with us.
Yeah.
And be auditory when you are having sex. I don't mean talk. God, talking can be annoying. Make freaking sounds. Like, sound it out, people. Get primal. Get loud. Let us know where you are in time and space when we're having sex with you.